Now, speaking of our guests, it's a pleasure to introduce Srinivasan Sampath, Acting Group Chief Technology Officer at First Abu Dhabi Bank, and Amra Naguib, AVP, Head of Digital Banking Ecosystem, Innovation and Digital Payments at Mashrek, Egypt. Hi to both of you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'm pleased I managed to get through those job titles, long job titles for these panel discussions sometimes. Anyway, we have so much to cover over the next half an hour or so. And as I said, do send your questions in via the app if you have anything you want to discuss with our guests. This is fully interactive, of course. Okay, well, let's take a little step back and look at the landscape here, because it's changed so much because of the advent of digital open banking. And I'll put this to both of you, how you feel the digital and open banking setup has really transformed the traditional banking landscape. I interviewed you first, so Srinivasan, I'll come to you first on that one. How do you feel it's transformed the landscape?
I think, open banking as a concept is picking up in the GCC region. As you say, we have seen that, Bahrain has implemented it first. Now, KSA has also implemented it now. UAE is in the verge of launching it somewhere in Q3 2024. Open banking is going to be the sort of capability that every market will look at going forward. Other geographies have already gone with it several years back. But with the financial ecosystem opening up in the GCC region, open banking is going to be one of the critical, capabilities that the financial system needs in order to open up the banking platform, across the ecosystem. Because as you know, the digital ecosystem in every geography and every country is, accelerating and really, getting up to speed on various capabilities. And many fintechs and many organizations are coming up with various financial service products and financial services. And Open API is an important capability that is required for the industry, for connecting the financial services industry and the third-party providers, where customers can have various different options available for them to use the financial ecosystem, leverage on the products, and also look at account aggregation, get competitive pricing. I think this is one of the key capabilities, and also it enables organizations to open up their API services, expose the API services, monetize the API services, leverage the various capabilities available across the non-financial services industry. This is a great initiative which is going to be very, very helpful for the entire environment and the financial ecosystem.
Amra?
I totally agree with what Sampath was saying. I see it has revolutionized the traditional banking landscape by looking at it from a customer's perspective. It's providing the customer with more convenient, personalized banking experience. Customers nowadays, the generation is different, so they are looking for more fast and more reliable, seamless digital experiences. Nobody wants to go to a branch anymore. Nobody wants to do the comparison between the products and the services that are offered between banks by themselves anymore. Instead, they want it more quicker and more convenient to their day-to-day life. So as Sampath was saying, relying on open APIs, relying on allowing integrations and partnerships and collaboration between financial services providers and integrating fintechs into the landscape. This has definitely revolutionized the banking landscape in the last couple of years. Of course, it's a bit different in Egypt, other than in the Gulf area or other geographies. Egypt is taking not baby steps, but more cautious and steady steps towards open banking. They started by allowing payments, instant payments across all banks and financial financial and non-financial service providers lately in Egypt, which is a step. I believe the Central Bank of Egypt is also adopting a financial ID similar to what was implemented in India 10 years back, similar to, and link it to the banking database across all banks, which is the seed for an eKYC or a unified KYC, which paves the way to open banking in the next couple of years.
As you say, Amra, it is a genuine revolution, because for hundreds of years, banking has been banking. You go to your branch, the money is there, you put your money in. It has stayed the same for as long as there has been money, there have been banks. But this is such a seismic change, open banking. Do you feel we're only just sort of scratching the surface of the potential of what this can do for customers and the financial industry as a whole? Amra, I'll come to you first on this one, please.
I think, yes, I think we're just scratching the surface, as you said. Eventually, by going deeper day after day, we will realize more capabilities that we can benefit from, especially that the digital and open banking are tech reliant. So whenever there's a new technology in the market, there will be new trends. And I recall I was just giving an induction session at the bank here in the morning to new joiners. We were talking about how banks evolved from the traditional banking to digital banking, when banks started to understand and see the impact of having smartphones in the hands of customers, everyone. So they started to
Oh, I think we have just lost Amra for a second. Srinivas, if we can come to you on that question until we get Amra back, about do you feel we're just scratching the surface of this technology?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, what it is going to benefit the end customer perspective is that the end customer does not need to rely on a financial services organization to get all the services the customer wants. Now, the non-financial services providers will be also able to provide financial services, as we are seeing that, many non-financial services institutions have started offering wallets and various type of payment mechanisms. So at the end point itself, customers will be able to get a lot of financial services from various other competition partners at a very competitive pricing. I think what it means that the financial services giants, the biggest organizations or banks, have to start thinking about more innovative products that they can provide to our customers in order to have stickiness of the customers. Plus, also, the banks will be able to get much more information across the industry, both from financial services, the insurance products, the wallets, and various other payment-related capabilities, because payment ecosystem is also evolving across various geographies in a large scale. There are, as we said, the instant payments, the payments across various different services, payments across GCC countries, payment through endpoints with various loyalty-related services. I think many sort of use cases are emerging when you start opening up the ecosystems to other providers and third-party providers. And the third-party providers are hungry to provide a bundle of services to its customers at the end point, especially from an e-commerce related platform or at the point of sale. When customer is doing a sort of buying a product, at that end point itself, the vendor or the third-party provider will be able to provide many more options to the customers in terms of instant payment plan, BNPL, so many other things. I think the breadth of the use cases and the extent of coverage is going to keep increasing more and more, as more and more partners and providers are going to become part of this ecosystem. And mainly large organization tier banks would like to monetize, because they hold maximum number of data of a customer. and then where other third-party providers use the service banking data from large tier 1 banks. Banks also would like to partner with many third-party providers to monetize the services that's being provided, data that is being exchanged with various other institutions. The coverage and the breadth of the use cases is only going to increase, because if you look at the various geographies like Brazil or UK or any other place, it took few years for the open banking system in order to evolve and the volumes to increase, right? Because it has gone through a learning curve. And the geographies which are trying to adapt it now as a benefit of, understanding from the learning curve, and see that how quickly they can time to market on new use cases, not only from an mandatory contributory use case perspective, but also compute use cases where it is going to give financial benefit to the organizations. So from an overall ecosystem perspective, yes, we are really scratching the surface, and the scope and benefit of what sort of different use cases and services that can come into the open finance platform is pretty wide open. Yeah.
Amra, I think we've got you back now. Excellent. We lost your connection for a moment, but we do have you back.
I'm terribly sorry.
That's not a problem at all. These things happen. We roll with them. That's how we work here. Let's look at customers. You've both mentioned them. Do you feel customer expectations have changed? They're more demanding, more discerning. They expect more. And open banking is allowing fintechs to offer them more. Is that where the expectation has changed? Amra, I'll come to you first on that one, please.
I think yes. I think customers are always hungry for more. At the end of the day, they are looking forward to make money, save, fulfill their financial needs, and subsequently be financially satisfied. So I think, yes, open banking will allow customers to ask for more, which will eventually increase the competition between banks and will also lead to customers relying on fully digital banks. They will, I think eventually in a couple of years, the hit on traditional banking will decrease significantly, especially with as Sampath was saying, the successful models that we are seeing now, like in Brazil and in the UK. It took them, as Sampath was saying, it took them a while until it reached this level of maturity. But with such a successful example, I think this will be leading to a more I don't want to say harsh, but a more hot competition for banks to cater for the customers' desires and requirements. This will be, at the end of the day, it will pour in the benefit of the customer themselves, because the higher the competition, the better the rates, the better the service, the better the more banks are eager to keep their customers and grow them. So I think, yes, open banking will increase the customer requirements and will increase their demands from a banking industry and financial service perspective. And at the end of the day, it will increase the competition, as I was saying.
Sreenivasan, if you'd like to pick up from there.
Yeah, see, I think what we are looking at today is that customers are looking for convenience, flexibility, and ease of operations in any sort of services they are taking from any vendors and any competitors, right? So what they're looking for is, and today, most of the customers have multiple banking relationships, right? And not only having multiple banking relationship, there are financial services being provided by other non-financial services providers. So when they are taking services for different industries and different institutions, they are always looking at how can I do my requirements through one single window, instead of navigating through multiple apps and multiple different marketplaces. Is there a possibility for me to aggregate? Is there a possibility for me to look at everything in one single window? Is there a possibility for me to provide services seamlessly across different industries? And what sort of benefit that I'm going to get by doing it digitally using a very easy, flexible journey, right? So what Open Finance is going to bring up is to give that flexibility and benefit to the end customer, right? The customer is going to get competitive pricing, is going to able to have a look at it online in terms of pricing from various service providers. Accordingly, have the option and flexibility, choose the pricing which is relevant to his requirement, right? Today, more and more personalized services is what the customers are looking at, right? Especially after the COVID era, we have seen that, many digital services which are very personalized is what the customer requirements are. And that's where the industry keeps evolving, of providing, while you will still keep providing the same account opening or the account service requests or statements, everything which used to be provided earlier. But the way in which that is being now offered to the customers, the ease, the flexibility, convenience keeps evolving. So we have to keep looking at digital journeys and keep improving the navigation user experience all the time. So that's where I think the customers are looking for, and that's where the maximum benefit that the customers will get from an open finance environment and ecosystem.
Amar, I saw you wanted to add further to that.
Yes, in fact, I have a couple of examples that I would like to share on this point specifically. The first example is when the Central Bank of Egypt introduced the instant payment network as one way to process payments instantly within seconds between banks. This had a very huge impact. It's managed by it's regulated, and the initiative was initiated by the central bank. It's managed, however, by a separate entity specifically built for this, and it's supervised by the Central Bank of Egypt. However, it had a very huge impact on the number of, and I'm just speaking in terms of transfers and payments as a service. It had a very huge impact on the business of remittances, domestic remittances, and bill payments, and in general payments. In the first year, that made the central bank, change its direction and allow integrating the bank's mobile banking services, or mobile banking apps, with the instant payment network, in order to allow customers to benefit from the transfer limits and payments limits that are applicable on the mobile app for each bank, while benefiting from or leveraging on the feature of instant payments. This, if it wasn't implemented, or if this mandate was, and the change in strategy was not noticed and catered for as early as possible, I believe that instant payment network would have cannibalized the business of payments and transfers from digital banks and from banks in general off their digital platforms. This is my first example. The second example is, and Sampath raised this you raised it in regarding COVID, and I will again be specific to Egypt. Prior to COVID, the main payments processor or cashless, like digitalization, was a couple of companies that were managing this and dominating this kind of business. However, in the last couple of years post-COVID, we have noticed a lot of payment and cash digitalization processing startups and companies entering the market. Like, for example, I'm not sure if I could share the names of the companies or not, but it's a global company, Network International. For example, it was dominating parts of the geographies in the region, the Middle East region. And they had presence in Egypt. However, recently they have penetrated the payment and cash digitalization processing as a competitor post-COVID. A lot of fintechs and small startups started to emerge and compete with the industry giants in this area due to COVID and due to the huge and the growing demand of customers to have a convenient and smooth banking service experience. So I think, yes, these examples show how in customer demands and growing demands will impact the industry.
Yeah, Amra, two fine examples there of exactly what we're talking about here. Now, I'm sure you won't mind me saying we have, more than 40 years of experience on the panel here today. I apologise for flagging that, but it's also a very good thing. For you, from your experience and what you've seen, what are the key things that are critical in implementing a successful open banking initiative? What things have to happen for it to go well? And what are the common mistakes and things that might hold things up? Srinivas, we'll start with you. What are the key things we're looking for in terms of a successful open banking initiative?
As an organization, we need to have a very, solid open API foundation platform, because when you're going to start exposing APIs into the industry with various sorts of data, you need to make sure that many of the organizations have a mix of, legacy platforms and modern platforms. So to have the data from the legacy and modern platforms to expose into the financial ecosystem for them to consume, it's important to have a very trusted, API security and API platform. Plus, as I said, that when you are going to expose data to third-party providers, it's important because we don't know whom you are exposing to make sure that the customer data and consumer data is protected. You should have a proper trust framework and identity, a platform which authenticates and makes sure that the data is secured and shared properly in the right manner. And in the same way, I think we should have a flexible technology in order to consume data from other institutions, because you're going to get exposed to smaller players in the market or different non-financial industries. How do we also consume those data? I think API platform foundation with a proper trust framework and identity from a technology perspective is important. And internally, from a business perspective, every business needs to be clear on what are the use cases that you want to participate, which are going to be beneficial and where you can monetize, and which you have to definitely share because you're going to be part of the larger ecosystem. Okay, so unless the strategy within the organization is clear on what is going to be the compute sort of use cases, what is the consume use cases, this is where some of the organizations face challenges, because they're not able to leverage the ecosystem properly and use the ecosystem properly. So a proper strategy of what use cases that needs to be engaged with, what data needs to be shared, and how do you make sure that our entire data platform is secured with a good foundational API framework is very, very critical for success of any open finance ecosystem, or even from an organization perspective to leverage the use of open finance platform. Yeah.
Still hear me?
I couldn't hear you for the last 20 seconds. I'm not sure about
okay. I think we may have lost.
Yes, let's see.
Oh,
no, but now we can hear it quite well.
Thank you, Amro. Yeah, so we're just asking, how can we make sure that these open banking initiatives are a success and the signs of a success?
I believe rely on put the customer to be customer centric when looking to. I can't find the word specifically when looking to assess open banking initiative. You put your customer in the central of your attention. The customer design requirements, the customer needs, the customer experience, and how seamless and straight through it is. Rely on real-time access to the customer, for the customers to the financial services. I believe also in order to have successful open banking initiatives, I think you can rely, as Sampath was saying, on APIs for seamless data sharing and integration. Also, you can. It should rely on cloud computing for more scalability and flexibility, rather than the legacy infrastructure setups. Always build your data analytics for personalized insights, for more tailored customer experiences and tailored services and products. I think also the more convenient the mobile apps or the customer interfaces are, and more seamless with less clicks, the more it generates satisfaction at the customer level, and hence it increases the growth of customer penetration, leading to more profits and growth for the open banking initiatives itself. Eventually, without advanced and very reliable information security measures that are in place, I think this threatens the integrity of the whole initiatives. So I think, yes, we need to be more not conservative, but very, very cautious when it comes to information security, when it comes to sharing data, exposing the data. We need to know which data to be exposed and to whom, and how the other parties are securing our data and preventing any potential frauds or attacking initiatives.
Yes, that's absolutely crucial.
I think the success of open banking is mainly on the usage and adoption, right?
Yes.
The more the platform being used, the more volumes are generated. That that shows the success of the whole platform itself. I think education, awareness, and communication of the capabilities of the platform, and getting more and more customers to use the platform with the relevant use cases is going to be the major success. Then, as I said before, for the other markets to have the increase in volumes of the usage of the platform took some time. At least it took 12 to 14 months in order to look at good volume that is being transacted to the platform. So one of the key success factors of the platform is to how do you increase the awareness adoption rate of using the platform. That will ultimately determine the success of the whole ecosystem. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we are coming up to time now, so we will wrap things up there, as we have been struggling with our connection a little bit as well. So Srinivas, Sampath and Amra Nagib, thank you so much for your time. You've been very generous with your time and expertise today. Thank you for joining us here at FinTech Live Dubai.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure sharing some of the thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as well to join such an informative panel.
Thank you ever so much.